very good afternoon to all of you. I don't get any response. A very good afternoon to all of you. Now I know that you're not doing meditation. Right? Wonderful. I would like to make it very short and sweet because I think we were supposed to finish by 3:30. I'm sure that all of you are looking forward to listen to the balanced speakers also. And the topic that we have here right now is technology driving PSUs, the way forward. Okay. I have a few questions. Let's make it interactive. Do we have a caller mic or something? I just want to move around. Yes. Okay. Okay, let me ask you a question first. Can you just name some companies which are technology-driven PSUs first? What are the names that come to your mind? Technology-driven PSUs. The topic says technology-driving PSUs. Okay, we'll come to that later. But can you just name one? Okay, forget about PSUs. Technology-driven companies. Any idea? Which are the ones which come to your mind? Delhi Metro. Morning we've heard about that, how it is one of the best metro companies and metro operators. That's what one of the speakers said in the morning. That's very good. The DMRC is one example he gave, Mr. Roshan. Yes, sir. PSUs, yes. GAIL, NTPC, Coal India, and to some extent, I am from oil sector originally. Right now, I'm in instrumentation company for last 2 years, but I also believe that the oil sector companies also are technology driven because you have to upgrade your technology. Okay. And which are the companies which come to your mind when you think that they are not driven by technology? Therefore, are they existing? Are they surviving? This side, I got very good response from that side. How about this side? Companies which are not changing, especially in terms of technology. Which are the companies? Yeah.
State governments.
Sorry?
State governments, and you can say that it is half glass empty. So it is difficult to name the companies.
You are not able to name the companies.
It will be difficult. It will be not proper to name the companies.
No. Why? PSU you name, forget about state government, sir.
PSUs also.
PSUs, we can name, we have named just now. But Dr. Bakshish said about a company, and Mr. T. Ishwar, you know, we are sharing the same name. He also responded to Mr. Bakshish's particular mention about the company. He got a watch, HMT watch, as a gift from his uncle, from his in-laws, and he still kept it as a gift. In fact, I remember my brother used to work in HMT. He retired now. He took voluntary retirement. And when I was a kid, you know, and he was, there's a gap of 15 years between us. And he said, you know, you have to, if you're wanting to have a watch, what you need to do is you have to wait in queue because there's a premium on that, like Bajaj scooter.
If you want to hear the names, it is like Bharat Udyog, HMT, which he said. Then Bamal Lorry. They are all failing because of, then there are so many companies which are listed for loss-making companies, and they are being listed either being closed or... So these are the companies...
You have hit the nail on the head, sir. What's your good name?
I'm Sinha.
Mr. Sinha. Yes. Mr. Sinha, there is nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, I would have been very happy if you have named my company also. I am representing Instrumentation Limited, a company which has spent 50 years of its existence. It was created in 1964 and it was undisputed leader in control and instrumentation for about more than 2 decades. In 1994 it became sick. Do you know the reason? We know the reason for HMT watches. They were sleeping when the world was changing. When Titan watches were created, the titans of the watch industry, HMT, were sleeping. So therefore, Instrumentation Limited was no different. The brand was Elvin. Sorry? HMT?
HMT watches brand was Elvin.
Plenty of watches. You know, the point, sir, is that
either you change with the changing times. The only strategic advantage or the competitive advantage a company has, especially a public sector, is to change, learn, unlearn or unlearn, learn and change faster than the potential competitor. If you don't change, then you perish. So the only thing that is, we all know, change is the only thing which is constant. So what happened is, even in the case of IL, when the going was good, you didn't do anything. You know, what is the best time for planning for future, sir? Since you nodded at the statement I made, I would like to know, what is the best time for a company to plan for the future? When you're at peak, when you're doing well. Not when you're not doing well. You have to plan for the future when you are healthy. And if you don't plan, if you're not planning, or if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Simple as that. So therefore, coming back to my company, we were a monopoly. We were supplying control and instrumentation systems for thermal industry, for steel industry, for refineries, and all the sectors, process industries. And yes, and what happened was, our collaborators in 1991, MNCs became our competitors. Because the doors were open, they came in, and then we didn't have what is required for a PSU, if it is in manufacturing sector, a strong foundation of technology or a product. We didn't have anything that we were supposed to sell on our own. Even till today, we are struggling. The only thing that is happening in our company right now is that it is neither swimming nor sinking, it is floating. Now, we are a team of, we are a board of directors, mostly from outside IL, and we have come here to make a difference. And in the morning, if you were there, you would have seen that we won an award for teamwork, project teamwork, and we as a team are making all efforts, not looking outside. Outside world is difficult. Government will not give you any financial support. What will you do? Then you have to think of, look inwards. What is that we can do? Instead of just crying, can we do something? That's what we are doing now. The way forward is that you need to look at the opportunities the new government has created for us. We all know what are the opportunities. One is the opportunities, the main things that the new government is actually talking about, which have now got unleashed amongst us. Make in India. Before that, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Very good. And second is Make in India. Third is Digital India. And I see everything is connected. Now, if you, for example, now we could see the great opportunities and challenges of public sectors. Okay, we could see an opportunity in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. You know, lot of muck is there all over the place. It needs to be cleaned up. We, under Make in India banner, we put an ad on our website seeking people to come and then tell us whether they can tie up with us for products manufacturing in our company. Then, lo and behold, we got a company from China called Glory International. And they said, you know, we make solid waste management systems which can separate, segregate the dry and the wet, the garbage, which is very essential to stop the pollution when they are actually burnt in the landfills. Now, that is a great opportunity we seized upon, and we have a tie-up with that company. It can be a game changer for us because there are a lot of potential. There are 41 cities in which this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is going to be, has been taken up. And you know the commitment, the amount of money that the government is going to commit, 15,000 crores. And the total amount that is required is 60,000 crores. and you look at the opportunity, we are going to actually take this opportunity, not only for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, but also for Make in India, and that is as regards my company. Coming to Digital India, you know, PSUs are doing a little bit, but they're not ready for the challenge of Digital India opportunity. What is required to be done? We do a lot of work in public sectors. We have ERPs. You know, companies have embraced ERP. ERP is doing wonders. A lot of companies in oil sector, and I know in other companies. We also have e-procurement. You know the advantages you must have heard before the session, before the lunch, the vigilance people would have spoken about the e-procurement. Advantages are there. You have automation of the operations. For example, in oil sector, most of the petrol pumps you see are highly automated. They can just, in fact, Reliance, what they do, they have the supply chain management. They know how much is there in a particular outlet, even if it is thousands of kilometers away. What is the storage availability? And when they can get the product. That kind of automation is available. Well, that can be a game changer. So the companies like PSUs are required to look at the great opportunity that Digital India is providing. You not only look at the e-procurement, but also look at the automation of the operations, the video conferencing. A friend has spoken so beautifully. I would like to see some of the companies, PSUs, which have embraced your technology, because Dr. Bakshi said they do video conferencing all the time. Now, whether that is giving that immersibility which he beautifully spoke about, that has to be seen. That is a wonderful technology is coming out with. In fact, in the morning during the tea session, he says, Mr. Ishwar, if you have time, please come to my Gurgaon Experience Center and see how it feels like. You know, I was really zapped by this Experience Center. He said, don't imagine about my product, just come and feel. Now, I could see a little bit of that there in this particular presentation that he did, but nevertheless, we need to appreciate the kind of technology that is you're trying to bring and change the entire landscape. And also, but my personal opinion is this is a very good product. At the same time, we cannot replace the personal touch. You know, that also once in a while is required. The town halls as well as the video, as well as the meetings. So Digital India is presenting a wonderful opportunity. Make in India also presenting a great opportunity. And the technology-driven companies like Dr. Bakshi, where is the CMD, and under the same ministry, I know him very well. He's spoken a lot about technology which he's using, and not only here but also abroad, getting the contracts and executing with a cutting-edge technology. So therefore, one of the things that company requires is the technology. Other is the strategy. Third is the processes. And what is the most important thing that connects all these three things? 3 or 4 things? What connects technology, strategy, processes, systems? What connects? Something is not there, all this will not work. What is that? Sorry? IT. IT is also one of the systems. Sorry? Human. Wonderful. Give a big clap to him. It is the people who connect all the 4 things. If you take away people, even for this technology, if you take away the people who make things happen, who innovate things, who do R&D, then your technology is not up to date. So therefore, friends, thank you very much for giving this opportunity once again. I hope I have succeeded in not letting you do the meditation that I suspected that you were doing. And I have some questions. In fact, if you have any questions at the end, we'll take. And sorry, the organizers have taken about a few minutes extra, and wish you all the best in your technology-driven lives. Thank you very much.